Get started with Delirium League. This is going to be a starter slash beginner guide. There's lots of different builds to play in Path of Exile. It's not as cookie cutter as Diablo, and I'm going to go ahead and do a series up until the maps, which is what would be considered the endgame content. We're going to be doing a build that may not work, so you may not want to copy my build exactly. However, the video will still serve the purpose as to be able to go ahead and get towards the endgame. I will, however, leave some videos down below for builds that do work. The reason why I'm going to be testing out things that might not work is because there's new content. These things haven't fully been tested, but I will again give you guys some builds that will be in the pinned comment or the description box if you're watching this on YouTube, since we're also doing this on a live stream. So let's go ahead and get started. So once again, we're going to go ahead and do the Delirium League. I'm going to go ahead and make a witch. I'm deciding on doing a spell slinger. I could do some type of like a corpse thing with maybe Volatate, but I might also go Elementalist. I'm actually not sure. I'll probably end up going Necro, to be honest, but we'll decide. Let's go ahead and get started to make a new character. Alright. Let's go. Oh shoot, I already have a character with this name. What was the character that I had? Was it this? That I just deleted the character? And I forgot which username I haven't used, because I've already used Slaydra and I've already used too many different ones. There we go. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, you can pick any class. Don't worry too much in the very beginning as far as what you want to decide to play. We're going to go ahead and, for the sake of the video, skip all the tutorials, but you can leave yours on. I'll pretty much explain most of the concepts for this game. So I'm going to bind my move only to Q. I'm going to pick up the wand. And feel free to, if you guys are playing this for the first time, to follow along for the most part. I don't recommend to copy my skill tree, but I will again provide you guys with an entire skill tree with a full build in the pinned comment. Again, it's because there's new content here and I can't verify if it will actually work. So we actually got a new skill, which is Fireball. We're going to actually place this into our weapon over here, and now you can see when we right click, you can change it to whatever key we want. You can do a lot of different things. You can go into the options and change all of your input, your settings. Go ahead and do that now if you are like new to Path of Exile, because I know I create a lot of Diablo content, and so from people coming from Diablo going to Path of Exile, it's a pretty big jump in terms of like what you can do and how difficult certain things are. But yeah, we'll do like a full playthrough of the entire campaign, and we'll get you guys to endgame no problem. But what is Spell Slinger supposed to do? It's supposed to make casting really, really awesome. We'll show it off once we get to it. But if you guys are familiar with Path of Exile, our current plan right now is to basically do ethereal knives into animate weapon. So it'll still be a summoner. It might not be like a zombie summoner, because that's usually what you would normally go, but Necromancer got heavily, heavily nerfed. But they also got some buffs, so we'll have to wait and see. There's just so many new things, and in this league, the new mechanic, because in like Diablo you have seasons, in Path of Exile there's new league mechanics. The new league mechanics really shift up how the game is played, because this is the skill tree. I know it's very overwhelming if this is the first time you're looking at it, but we're going to go ahead and have these new jewel clusters that actually can make it so we can make the skill tree even bigger. There's 180 new like things on the skill tree that can be unlocked, but we don't even know how many we're going to be unlocking and what skills they will have, because we're going to have to get these large jewel sockets here. Again, this is something that's very, very untested over here. But hello Chimley and Magiscard. How you guys doing? Since we're also streaming this on Twitch, I'm not talking to myself, I swear. Ooh, get that plate vest. So in the very beginning over here in Twilight Shrine, what you really want to do is just go straight towards it. And unless you're doing this farming method of farming an item that can take you like 8 hours to get, it's really not worth it. Unless you just want it for the clout. Come join you for what? Modern Warfare? No, dude, I'm not interested in that game. Today is Path of Exile. Oh, by the way, you have You have your life flasks and you have your mana flasks. Mana gives you the ability to cast skills. However, there is something that will completely change up the way it works called blood magic, which then spends your health instead. So there's a lot of really cool mechanics with Path of Exile that just simply don't exist with Diablo. And what's really cool is, well, we'll have to identify these to actually use them. I think the only action RPG that you could actually use items that you don't have it identified is actually Diablo 1. In fact, Diablo 1 had intentionally the idea of not identifying some of your items. Ooh, optimization issues right here. There is a little bit of lag, and there is going to be some server crashes on day one. It happens actually almost every league, honestly, on PoE. But that's okay. I deal with it. The only league that was really terrible was Legion. All right, so this is your stash tab. You might not have the same amount as me. It's because I purchased it with real money. Don't worry about actually spending real money in this game. You can totally get by. It's just that it organizes things a little bit better if you happen to have the stash tab over here. But yeah, like I said, don't worry about it at all. So, since we just finished the quest over here, we can get Freezing Pulse, we can get Magma Orb, Lightning Tendrils, Raise Zombie, Blight, or Kinetic Bolt over here. So this is a new skill. Like I said, I plan to go ahead and test out all of the new stuff for sure. And then we'll kind of make like a hybrid-ish build, and whatever works better. Let's actually go ahead and take off Fireball over here, because I want to try out the new skill first. Oh, I should explain this really quick. So, what does this give us? Extra spell damage, and then this gives us extra spell damage too, but this also increases our attack speed. You can actually attack as a basic attack too. We'll go ahead and just kind of path towards the left over here. I don't actually know what I'm going to go for. Let's see how the skill feels first, because that's the most important thing. We're going to go ahead and skip out on some of the quests. Don't worry about doing every single quest that you come across in this game.
I know that stench, just like my sisters upon the pyre.
But yes. Anyways, yeah, let's try one of the. This is a new skill, and let's see how it looks. And I like how the new skill is acquired so early on in the game. Over here. Oh, we're coming up to the new league mechanic too. So not only is there new skills to mess around with, there's a new like endgame boss, but there's also a new mechanic called Delirium, which we will be encountering in just a few seconds over here. I want to clear out. Actually, let's see if we just go in to the portal. It's supposed to make the monsters much more difficult. Wow, I'm getting lots of lag over here. Again, it's just server issues, so don't worry if you also get lag. Don't think it's like Path of Exile is too hard to run. Day one, or even sometimes the first week, the servers, they're just super stressed. They even tweeted out about it, so.
To learn is to live.
But I assure you, it will calm down. Getting the seasonal DDoS. I don't know why people do that. It's annoying. I don't think so. They just said that there was like 200 and something K players playing within the first hour, and that's causing issues. Oh my gosh. And don't worry if you actually die in the Delirium, because it's supposed to be very difficult. I actually don't know how long it's going to last either. But we shall see indeed. And Path of Exile is not an easy game at all. Like, if you compare it to Diablo, Diablo 1 was pretty tough. Diablo 2, it's pretty challenging. Build defense for Delirium mobs. Oh, okay. Thank you for the help. It actually isn't, like, super smooth as far as, like, how easy it is to clear. Oh, that's it? Okay. So I'm not sure how the mechanic works. It might be a timed event. How I heard it works, it's kind of like a donut. Okay, so how it works, it kind of spreads out, and it makes the monsters stronger, but they will drop better items. But it also will be closing at the same time, so like I said, it's kind of like a donut. So you have a giant ring that keeps on expanding, but there's another ring that starts to build that will eventually end your Delirium adventures here. So, since I plan to scale damage, and I don't really mind having an extra cast speed over here, and I might actually just go ahead and gain extra. This is lightning damage, right? I assume it is lightning damage. Hold on. What you can do is you can go on to if you hit, I believe it's C as default. At least that's what I have it bound to. But you can open up your character sheet by over here, and you can click on it. I might have rebounded it. I don't remember off the top of my head. But you can check out what kind of damage it does if you click on offense. Over here, it'll tell you what type of damage. So there's bleeding damage from, okay, let's see. It's gotta be lightning damage, right? It's physical damage. Oh, okay. Interesting. You can actually convert some of the damage in this game to other damage. That's one thing that's really nice with Path of Exile. But yeah, it'll be a completely new experience for me, so let's go ahead. Wait, it's physical. It's a spell though, right? Oh, one thing with your spells, I probably should have mentioned this earlier. There's just so much stuff with Path of Exile. It's really hard to make a video within even 5 hours going over everything. That's why it's just like a process that we're gonna do. So you can see if you mouse over it, it says attack and it's a projectile. Now, before we had Fireball, which is a projectile spell, and it's an AoE and fire. So it'll tell you exactly, usually it's like really accurate, but then we have Arcane Surge, which makes it so after spending a total of mana with supported skills, we'll get extra spell damage. I'm not even sure if that will actually like proc with it. But if they are linked, like there's a little line in between, it kind of shows off how to, it can be modified via the support gems. You'll see in the very front it says support, where this one says attack. I'm actually kind of curious to see how well this will scale, but we can technically convert the damage anyway, so I might just go ahead and get extra cast speed. Or is it attack? If it's an attack, then, oh gosh, I don't know about that. Because, you know what, we'll go ahead and path over here, and we'll try to go ahead and grab this cluster jewel as quickly as possible, because I want to see what the new mechanic allows us to do. So in Path of Exile, intelligence will give you mana and energy shield. Energy shield will regenerate. Health pretty much regenerates also, because you'll end up getting some stuff that will give you life regeneration. But strength will give you life and melee physical damage. And then dexterity will give you accuracy and evasion. Evasion prevents all damage unless there's like some specific thing. How am I? I'm doing pretty good, Turtles. That's weird that it's physical. So what should I even scale? Like, I guess I could start going for like extra like survivability. There's just so much stuff to do, and I love it. Every time I go back into Path of Exile, oh wait, we just got some items. My bad. Just overwhelmed with so much new content. So excited to finally hop back in this game, because I really wanted to like Wilson. And I felt like that was going to be the new game for me, honestly, and it was just, it's not ready yet. But we did get a yellow item, so we can get life regen. There we go. So we only have 2 things to identify, and I pretty much want to go ahead and get these wands upgraded here. +1 to level of all physical spell gems, and since this hits for physical, right? That could be a great, oh, this is two-handed? I'm going to go ahead and actually eliminate. So I believe you can't two-hand, or can't use 2 one-handers sometimes of different types. Let me go ahead and actually show you guys the auto attack, but it's not very strong. Alright, so let me go ahead and actually remove this. I think we might be able to do like there we go. So this one has a red link, so we'll go ahead and throw a Kinetic Bolt over here. Wait. Oh, we can't even use it because it's it requires something. Some attacks will require a certain weapon type. Let's see, a projectile from your wand. Okay, I gotcha. So unfortunately, we can't make use of that. So we'll just have to go back to this. All right, so go back to Kinetic Bolt, and we'll continue on. Oh, and also another thing, if something doesn't actually work with your weapon, it'll actually specifically say, like for example with Kinetic Bolt, it doesn't work with it. You'll see that there's an X because it's not a spell, it's a skill. However, you can still level it up. Not playing Diablo? Okay, we will play Diablo. Besides, I don't even... Sonato, you meme me every single time we play Diablo anyways. I know you're a PoE fanboy. I like the game too. I like both. But as far as right now, I want to play PoE. I like both, to be honest, a lot. Let's go ahead and put in our skill point before we go to the next Delirium. But since it's physical, that's actually really interesting. I really thought this was a lightning skill. So maybe going like Templar or Elementalist, bad idea. But we can still do animate weapon, and that's still 100% viable. Oh, we need to scale attack speed. Okay, I gotcha. Thank you for letting me know. So I was thinking about doing cast speed, but like, yeah, obviously if it's an attack, then we want something else, right? And also another thing I needed to mention, when you're playing this, oh my gosh, we might rip. But that's okay. Like I said, a lot of the newer League mechanics, specifically like Metamorph, oh, it was so difficult to do early on. It was so difficult to do. But like I said, it might be kind of like a donut. Oh, we see a timer over in the top middle. Sorry, I didn't see that before. And I'll mention how to level up skills. There's just so much to cover in Path of Exile when, you know, there's a new league happening. And, oh, I need to mention a lot of things. Like, if you picked another class, you start off somewhere completely different on the skill tree. But you can see we're timed here, and I'm guessing when we kill enemies, we get more time. And I think it's closing now, okay. So all we got was a chain belt off that, but that's okay. But there are going to be items that will add damage to spells and stuff like that. Oh, I think I need to change my loot filter. Because I think it's on like super strict or something like that right now. Let's go ahead and just do soft. Okay. So as far as the loot filter goes, I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too much content early on. But there are things that you can apply so certain items won't show up when they drop, because you don't want to see like every single item, especially in the very beginning of the game. But don't worry too much about that. If you guys are interested in that, I do have a video showcasing off how to do it, but I just feel like it's not really necessary right now. So we get increased physical damage. That's pretty good. Yeah, there's actually a lot of that one gives you I believe or if someone that knows PoE, let me know in the chat. That one just gives us a skill point reset, right? The clearing out all those enemies, or does it give you +1 skills?
I think this ray class will serve.
Timer appears when you're out of the fog. Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. Okay. So skills can level up in this game. If you want to kind of think of it in Diablo as a skill gem, you kind of think of it like that. They're never going to really be bad, but there are certain times where you don't want to level them up because they will cost more mana, or they will activate at a certain interval. But, okay, yeah, it's not a skill point. Thank you, yeah. Because I really just try to focus on doing the skill point quest. Usually I have, like, my little thing on a tab that I open up when I do this, but I forgot. But I'll provide you guys with a lot of different sources in the description or in the pinned comment. So we can't use this because we've got to use wands for the new skill. So we want to scale attack speed. One thing that's really cool with Path of Exile is you can type in like attack speed, right? And I can find out what else is giving me attack speed. I thought there was a new wand one that was added in over somewhere. Is it over here? Attack speed with stabs. There's one with wands that was more recently added into the game. Oh, is it Wand Slinger over here? Oh, okay. Maybe we should have pathed over here, Kappa. But I definitely want to get this cluster jewel because I want to see the newest mechanic ASAP. But there's also, I guess, cast speed, but we need attack speed over here. There's minions have attack speed, which we can actually benefit off of later when we make it so the minion modifiers also modify us, because I did want to make this a necromancer spell slinger eventually. Yeah, we'll think about going and grabbing those as increased damage and attack speed. I mean, I can path up over here. Actually, minion damage. I mean, either way, everyone really gets heart and soul anyways. But as far as my pathing, like I said, I want to get towards here as quickly as possible. So I might just go, let's see, what do we have? Energy shield. We might just go here, and then we'll go up here. Oh gosh, that seems bad. Like I said, don't copy my build exactly. In fact, if you are playing another character, depending on what class that you play, you will start off maybe over here, or maybe over here, depending on, again, the class that you play. But this video is more so a guide to Path of Exile versus a specific class. And also, I just like doing full playthroughs of games anyways. So in order to progress to the next area, we have to find all of the little glyphs over here. But thank you, Doughboy, for all of the help here, because like I said, I legitimately thought that this was a lightning skill. I mean, like I said, it looks like it visually. So we'll start scaling, we'll get iron rings. But, well, I don't think... well, if it's an attack versus a spell, then that means. Because what did we get? Well, the first one doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's fine. Our pathing isn't totally scuffed. Where we're like, no, let's do a restart. And don't worry about your skill points. You can actually change them later down the line. It's not completely for free. And what I don't mean by free is it doesn't cost real money. It just costs in-game, like, I don't want to, it's a crafting materials, a good term? That's the best way to put it. Because there is no gold in Path of Exile. We won't listen to any of the things. But you can click on things. It has audio. It's nice. Some of the stuff is actually pretty cool. There are some, like, poems. Interesting things for lore, but... Oh, we got another kinetic bull. Alright. But do I have all of the glyphs over here? So we're looking for... Oh, yeah. So we got all 3 of them. There's 3 little glyphs that you have to pick up over here. And this is what they look like. They'll have a giant exclamation mark next to them. And then we're going to go ahead and go to the other giant exclamation mark. And we'll be good. Oh! Attack that scales better with spell damage? Wait, it does scale better with spell damage? It only scales better with attack, right? Coral M. We'll go ahead and get Mr. Ooze back. Okay, we go get a life flask.
Too much clutter.
We're pretty much full. I'm just grabbing this. I probably won't identify it to sell for more. You can identify it. Usually things that are identified will sell for more. But at the very beginning, I just pretty much pick up everything until my inventory is full because we have no currency, which is basically, if you want to think of it as kind of like crafting materials, it's a good way to put it. It scales 150% off spell damage. Okay, I probably should read it. That probably would be a smart thing to do. So increases and reductions to spell damage also apply their attack damage from the scale at 150% of their value. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Thank you for letting me know. I legit still think it should have been a lightning scale because I was originally like actually going to completely make a full path of building build for this. However, I was like, well, there's these new cluster jewels, and like if I get a new cluster jewel, I want to try it out, right? That's the new league mechanic. That's what everyone wants to you know, check out. And I was like, let's just go in with it blind because depending on what the cluster jewel is, that completely will change up our build. Plus, if sometimes you get a awesome item, you want to use that awesome item, right? Alright, let's go and put in our next skill point over here. Yeah, 10 out of 10 guide. It's more so, again, to teach people Path of Exile that came from Diablo and, like, the basics of the game. Not necessarily, oh, this is the best build in the game right now. I mean, honestly, if Necromancer didn't get nerfed, I would feel super confident saying, oh, yo, guys, I got one of the best, easiest builds, no brain, no skill required, because, dude, the Necromancer was so strong. I mean, it got nerfed pretty hard, but I still think that it's playable. It doesn't, okay, that's 20% extra spell damage. Should I get this? And it's not Ellie. Dang, I really want to get I want to get the extra, yeah, we'll path over here. Yeah. We're just going to go ahead and do a little loop over here. I might respec and go into something else. Like I said, I'm unclear of what I wanted to do with this build. Necro didn't get nerfed. Yeah. Oh, it's changing up some of like the environment too. Necro is still broken? Are you saying with, a Necro with, oh shoot, we should have put on that large flask that we just got. So I actually should explain the flask mechanic in this game. Can we actually go to the next level and still have Delirium? No, you can't. But, so I should equip this larger flask that we got. But let's get rid of this guy first so he's not in the way. So how flasks work in this game, they refill by killing enemies. And they have separate charges, and sometimes they'll actually give you stuff. Like this one gives us extra movement speed during the flask effect. So, more like Diablo 2 than Diablo 3. I like the idea of having all the flasks. So yeah, a lot of people are probably going to go animate weapon Necromancer. I'm not actually sure. Oh, gosh, we're kind of stuck. We're getting chilled over here, which kind of slows us down. Ooh, there we go. Some extra, what is that, mana? Where's that ring? And we get some, what is it, energy shield. Okay, that's nice. I'd actually rather keep the mana regen. The other one, I mean, it could have a modifier that gives us extra mana or something else, but primarily it's for regen. I kind of wish I took the zombie over the kinetic bolt. I'll get zombies also later. We'll do like kinetic bolt zombie. We'll test out all the new skills though, that's for sure. Because that's why I didn't recommend you guys to copy my build, is because I'm going to try out a lot of stuff and it might not actually work. But honestly, I think you can do Spellslinger Necromancer. If this build doesn't like work out, like if we do zombies and it just, for whatever reason, no good, you can change, no problem. But not yet. We'll get that extra wand attack speed ASAP, because I don't like attacking slow in the very beginning of any game, just like no one does, right? But honestly, I think if I would have went like something that had what is it? Frostblades are super good to level up with, like super easy. Because I feel like our it's also, I mean, I could just drop Arcane. I mean, I don't really need to level that one up, which means I could swap this, because this gives us, what, 8%? Since it scales with spell damage, we're going to go ahead and actually, we'll lose some attack speed because you actually gain attack speed when you dual wield, but this will give us extra damage so we can hit a little bit harder anyways. And we got another skill point, so I'm just going to go ahead and, like I said, I want to path as quickly as possibly can to get some extra attack speed to make the game feel a lot better. Is that all the attack speed we have? Oh, there's a lot of attack speed with wands. Like I said, we're going to go scale wands and minions at the same time, which usually you kind of choose like one path or the other. We're hitting a little bit harder. But later we'll be able to modify the skill with these little like link gems called support gems, and we can get like multiple of them to kind of come out. It's going to be awesome. But just like most action RPGs, the early game is very slow, and I think the servers definitely have calmed down a little bit. Because I have a GTX 2060 Super, and you know, Path of Exile, it's not a really demanding game. It's just optimization, and I guess depending on what builds you play, that matters a lot too. Because there are certain builds that will just clear content super fast. Okay. These guys like to do a little charge up attack. But as far as like our playthrough goes, the campaign, I mean, if you're really good, you can get it done faster. But I'd say, for me, average, if I'm like explaining things and doing things a little bit slow, about 8-ish hours, depending on how many times we're doing like the Delirium, how many times we like die, and how fast the build is. Because certain builds will definitely be faster than others. I'll go ahead and eliminate this elite. And then this one will also grant us a skill point when we go back into town. I actually didn't even explain like the waypoint mechanic. There's just so many things to explain in Path of Exile compared to other action RPGs. But yeah, there are waypoints just like there are in Diablo. And the reason why I use Diablo as kind of a reference is because most of you guys that followed me that are like interested in watching it and a new Path of Exile, like starter beginner guide to Path of Exile, with a full playthrough, more than likely are coming from Diablo anyways. And I think almost everyone's played Diablo in terms of like action RPG. That's why I always use it as like kind of a reference here. But we can actually just go all the way back. In fact, one thing I'm going to show you guys is a really good mechanic here. So you can actually just go ahead and go to the character selection screen and then select your character once again. Yo, Multi-Sandstorm, thank you so much for the sub, Areno. But you can go right back into town.
I've been watching your bunnies videos about noble knights. They needed that. Support NGL. What's good with you since Crush Card virus is around the world? Stay safe, Kappa.
Oh, thank you, Kappa. I appreciate the sub, Reno. Here is your hog squeeze. Oh, thank you, mate. I appreciate it. But what's my thoughts on the crush card virus, aka the CV, right? I honestly don't want to give you guys wrong information. That's really what it comes down to. I just play games, man. I don't do research on that kind of stuff. But apparently it's pretty serious. Like, I know some people were like, people are freaking out over it, but like, there's so many, you know, events getting shut down to the point where I'm like, okay, then someone's got to be doing their research, right? Like, it must be actually pretty serious. I don't know. But yeah, I just don't want to give you guys wrong info. All I can say is like, comment, subscribe. That's what I can tell you about that.
Life is short. Deal with it.
And you could be like one of those, like, you know, I love, because I do follow a lot of Fortnite content creators, and I do follow a bunch of those channels that basically re-upload other people's content. But like, they just do like the highlights and the best stuff, and they always say, dude, drop a like on this video and you'll instantly get the next, like, the, oh shoot, we're taking lots of damage. They'll be like, drop a like with the next 5 seconds, and your next game you will get free V-Bucks. Be like, oh yeah, if you got the CV, just drop a like on this video and it'll automatically go away. 100%, don't believe me, just try it. Like, Italy's at full lockdown, really? Dang, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. But yeah, we should probably go back to town, and since I went back to town already when I reset, should have actually sold some of my stuff to buy some, like, other gems, because we could definitely use zombies to clear out, and it'd be so much smoother, which we shall do. But not yet. We gotta go ahead and defeat the boss. Nothing out of that chest, or it might have been just so low of an item that it just didn't even show up on my loot filter. How's the new season? The mechanic is okay. I still vote Legion for the best. Legion is by far my favorite league so far. But I don't know what the endgame for Delirium looks like. I think the timeless jewels were super cool too. Legion was the best league for me so far. As far as leagues that I didn't like, though, since we're talking about the topic of best, like, seasons, which is leagues, same thing pretty much, I really didn't like Blight. It's because I played Flicker Strike, and a lot of times, like, just things weren't really doable. Oh, you know what? I didn't really mind Delve, but during Delve, I also played Flicker Strike, which was a terrible idea. So in Delve, how that mechanic works, which you could still kind of do here, most of the leagues do transfer over. Let's see if we got extra movement speed on these boots.
Too much classier.
We'll get something else. But you would have this little, like, mine cart, and you'd follow it into the darkness. And if you got too far away from the light, you would just start taking damage, and Flicker Strike teleports you. So there's a lot of times where I'd teleport across the map, and I would have no light, and it'd be instant pepperoni. But that's just part of that build. So, let's see. Extra energy shield, that could be nice, but I just got these boots. I want movement speed. Alright, well, this gives us energy shield. Oh, we need this for our skill. And also want to mention, you can modify the items to have more sockets, to have different colors, because you have to correspond the right color of gem, even though this time we only have the same ones, but you'll have to kind of match them up with the sockets. Alright, we gotta go back and attack speed again, because I went ahead and opened up. Wait, is there more wand attack speed? Okay, this is staffs. But we have to use wands. Okay, attack speed with wands. Okay, how much attack speed can we get over here? Increases in reduction to spell damage, also apply to attacks. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Let's go ahead and rush Wand Slinger. And then we'll go and grab these, and we'll go ahead and path here, because like I said, I want to rush this as quickly as possible. Yeah, we'll apply those. Okay. Oh, we got another skill point? Okay, good. We had 2. My thoughts on the Noble Knights. I don't think they're good enough, like, as of right now. Definitely could be better. It's very foggy this season. Oh, like, is in, like, it's hard to see, like, the enemies from the Delirium. Yeah, the next waypoint that we'll get, guys, we'll go back into town, we'll sell our stuff, and this way we can kind of get some more currency. skill's okay though. We just need to get like lesser multiple projectiles. It's a projectile, right? Hold on. What a bad streamer, dude. Yeah, it is a projectile. Okay. So what we're gonna do is basically be able to cast 3 of them at once versus 1. It's gonna be a lot faster. A lot faster. But we do lose a little bit of damage, but it's eventually it scales to where it becomes and adds more damage. Oh, you can see a little bit of hitching over here, but like I said, it's just the servers. So we'll get another skill, I think. Talk to this guy over here. We can get Frost Bomb, Orb of Storms, Raging Spirit, Contagion over here, or Detonate Dead. How long do these last? Oh, that's 5 seconds. It's another summon that you can do. I don't really like to do it because I just want to cast it and walk away. We can select something later. We got Frost Blink over here, so that'll be a nice thing to go ahead and have.
Farewell.
Can we get gems from this guy? You can get gems from one of them. Is it Nessa?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. I want the zombie. Ethereal Knives. So we need to get Ethereal Knives for our Animate Weapon. Can we get Animate Weapon? Oh, we could get Animate Weapon. Nice. Okay, so we already have our setup with this, okay? So I have my Animate Weapon, which will be nice. And then I also want to have Zombie. So let's go ahead and pick up Zombie as well. And if I can get some modifiers for Zombie soon. Actually, we'll check out what you can purchase for support. Support. We only have Arcane Surge. Oh, okay. Well, that's all we got right now. But you can see over on the right side what it does add over here, which gets that extra cast speed, and also it grants mana regeneration per second. But I won't really. Yeah, I guess I could use it. What? No, there's no. I don't have 2 links of blue. I'd have to swap back to the old weapon, so it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, that's right. You cannot remove gems when you go ahead and open up the vendor.
What little help I can offer,
which is kind of unfortunate. But we're gonna go ahead and throw in all items, and this is what we'll get in return over here in the top left. These are all, if you want to think of it like crafting material, that's the best way to go ahead and give an example of it. If you do identify items, they will be worth more, for the most part, but in the very beginning I wouldn't do it because it's usually just not worth it simply. Let's go ahead and equip the better flasks because they'll give us better stats, and then we'll go ahead. Some of these won't sell for like anything. They sell for a fragment, which will become a scroll of wisdom, which I mean, if you get 5 like just terrible items, it'll give you it. The lowest, that's like the lowest currency, but it's fine. It's better than nothing for now. Even though like, this one I could identify. It's fine. No. I don't even have one because I spent them all. Okay, no. So what we need to get is the iron rings, apparently. Let's see. If we sell this, do we get? You get one. It's 1. I really want to get these iron rings because they'll add damage to attacks. Here, even if I sold my only scroll, it's still not going to be good enough. Wait, hold on. How many fragments do we have? Oh, let me check out my guild stash. My guild stash has. Increased lightning damage, increased spell damage, extra attributes, add damage to attacks. Oh wait, was this? Wait, can I not click on it? Why can't I click on it? Is this? Did you put this on the log tab? Why? Okay. Anyways, whatever. So if you are in a guild, you have like stash that's shared amongst your guild, which is quite nice. We'll go ahead and go right back in. But unfortunately, we couldn't afford the rings yet. But soon we'll get them. All right, so now we have zombies. Let's go ahead and summon some zombies here, and then we also got this over here, which is a frost blink, so we can kind of go a little faster here. And we've also got ethereal knives. So this is what this looks like. Ethereal knives, oh, so much better. Yo, we should just mess around with ethereal knives for now. It's so much better. And we'll go ahead and summon our zombies, and we can get more zombies later. I forgot what the limit is in the very beginning. 3. Okay, it looks like we can only have 3. Yeah, ethereal knives are just so much better. Like, it reacts just so much faster, you know what I mean? Versus, like, the cast time is just terrible. But if we start scaling attack speed, maybe it'll be a lot better. And these ethereal knives will leave those knives on the ground, and we can actually use our animate weapon to bring those to life. So that'll be kind of cool. Start leveling up our skills. You see how much faster? It's sometimes you know, your experiences. And how many animate weapons can we have? I've actually never went animate weapon. Can we have 5? Okay. Yeah, ethereal knives. Fantastic. We should also be using crossbow. See, we're already getting pretty much like up to par with the speed. Now these don't last forever, right? They last 40 seconds. Okay, so every like once in a while I'll cast it. And sometimes you'll notice that you cannot level up a gem, and the reason why you can't level up the gem is actually because you need a certain requirement. Sometimes it's level, sometimes it's a certain stat that you need. But I like how we already have a mobility skill. It just feels really good. Okay, we got a vine circlet. I want some boots with movement speed like ASAP. That's my first goal here. Not life. It's fine. But the music in pathofexile is so good. That's one thing I miss every single time I come back to pathofexile. I'm just like, I like the music so much. Compared to D3 specifically, in terms of action RPGs. Like, Diablo 2 soundtrack was really, really good. Diablo 3 has a few good songs, but when you compare it to D2, it is completely different. Completely different. How old is pathofexile? Oh shoot, 2010, 12, I want to say. I was an earlier adopter of the game. Like I had the alpha, beta. I had it when there was only 2 acts. Oh, here's the Delirium. Let's see how fast we can do the new Delirium mechanic with our new and improved build over here. Now that we can go a little bit faster here as well. Oh, they just melted my zombies. Okay, we gotta go fast though. A lot of people worried about the fog making it so hard to see. I can still see for the most part, but yeah, it is definitely kind of obstructive, that's for sure. Like if there's like an explosion on the ground, it can be kind of hard to see. We already have 1 chaos orb, but what is that? Is that like how good we're doing? Dang, that melted all my zombies. What is this? Oh, it's a boss. Oh, we got 5 seconds left. Oh, don't die. Get him. Okay, as long as we kill that guy, we got the iron gauntlets. That's gonna help us out a little bit. But we took too long for that. Oh, it's like I think that little picture of the chaos orb was how good we are doing in terms of clearing the content. And we get maybe better loot. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. 1 man on kill. Okay, that's not bad. I'll take it. I'm not going to identify that, but I will go ahead and swap that flask. But yeah, the Delirium hits hard. I know our zombies are lower level here, but that was melting them super fast. What type of rewards you will get during this learn? Oh, okay, I gotcha. So it can give you a unique. We didn't get a unique though, did we? Or is it like if we do good enough? Wow, I felt like the zombies are really melting here. Like I know they got nerfed, but do we actually have shotgun volley? I forgot.
Fate
okay.
awaits.
Meet her up in town later. Nice. Can we like animate weapon off that? Yeah, we'll start scaling, maybe get some minions. Oh, currency in general. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I'd rather burn than call such a place home.
Yeah, we need a lot more cast speed, right? This is oh, not Frostblink. Where is it? Animate weapon is a minion and it's a spell. Okay, we got another Delirium over here. Let's go ahead and summon all of our weapons right before we walk into it. Or do we have to like fill up a bar or something? Oh, I'm seeing all these like eyes. That's kind of cool. I didn't notice that before. These guys aren't easy. Oh, dang. I wonder if people have been dying in like the hardcore league already from this. Here we're kind of farther back now. Oh, we're still good. Oh, you can see the fog. It's like right behind me. Oh, okay, get it. But it's hard to keep up. Oh, we kind of went the wrong way. Got a dead end, unfortunately. Okay, so this is a mechanic that's... ooh, nice, we got a fuser. So this is a mechanic that... you'll have to do to ascend to your secondary class. So every class in Path of Exile, with the exception of the Scion, has another three paths that you can choose. So right now we're just a witch, but we will eventually go into necromancer or elementalist. So we're going to go ahead and have to solve these trials. And so the first trial over here is in the lower prison, and you'll have to kind of do these like tests. This one is to basically go right behind the spikes. You can use that little pocket right there if you're feeling like you can't complete it within the time frame, but it's pretty easy. Don't get hit by the spikes, it does do damage. And now we're going to have to go all the way back, but you can see how much damage it does. I'm just going to take the damage. You're supposed to use those little pockets to not take the damage, but I'm confident that we can do it without ripping, so we'll go ahead and just kind of take all the damage. Then we go ahead and go all the way back and go over here, and we'll eliminate some enemies, and then that'll pretty much be the end of it. So we'll have to do several different trials, and at level 30 or 30-ish. Oh, you can also still use your mobility options, but you can see like the trials are really cool. But you can just instantly use like Frost Blink or any of your mobility options to kind of just go right towards the exit. It makes things much easier. But this one's kind of like a chessboard. It kind of goes diagonally. But once you go ahead and go towards the end, there's usually a portal, and it'll send you right back to the entrance. Well, hello, Genetic. How you doing, man? Let's go ahead and upgrade our Kinetic Bolt, even though we're not even using it. Maybe it'll be better once we get, again, things that can scale. Make things a little bit better. But for now, dude, those 309 is just so much better. Oh, we got a Lapis Amulet. That's nice. That'll give us a bunch of stats, because right now our intelligence is 112, and just with this alone, that's going to give us extra spell damage, extra fire damage, and life on kill, which was mana on kill, but I'll take it what I can get. Alright, so like I said, we're scaling right towards the wand damage, and then we need that wand attack speed, and then maybe we'll go back into Kinetic Bolt. Usually about 20% attack speed is right when you can really feel like that huge jump. You gonna play the new Diablo season? Nice, me too, man. Can you sniff the CV? Oh yeah, you do you, man. You do whatever you want. As long as you smash that like button, you can be as edgy as you want, mate. But as far as the new season, you're thinking about Thorns Barbarian. Well, Barbarian has a new Frenzy set. As far as Thorns go, I don't think there's anything that's going to be like buffing that specifically. I mean, there is that new seasonal buff, but the new seasonal buff would have been way cooler if you could stack the same, or if it just gave you an extra. I think what they really should have done was made it so you could run multiple copies of the weapon slots, which you can do, but then in addition to that, give you one extra thing inside of the Kanai's Cube. That would have been really cool, like a fourth Kanai's Cube thing. Or just make it so there's just a fourth one. The fourth one is any. I think an extra 3 would break the game, to be honest. I think an extra just 1 that is free to do weapon, armor, or whatever. Yeah, I think that would have been cooler. Just an extra free any... Because with Diablo, a lot of Diablo content creators, and that's including myself, have been burnt out of the game. When there's a new set, the thing is that since you added LOD, like the Legacy of Dreams and the LON, you make it so like a lot of those builds are just better than whatever you introduce, with the exception of the Spirit Barrage Witch Doctor, which can still actually go the same thing. So yeah, but I like Diablo. It's just I want new content, if that makes sense. Like, I know a new set is kind of new content, but at the end of the day, it's just a multiplier on an item, for the most part, right? Path of Exile has a new, entire new mechanic, which is what we're showing off right now. There's also a new boss that we can defeat. And I'm mostly interested in the boss. That's what I want to do. Unfortunately, we have to go all the way back because, well, unlucky Delirium. And that happens. Oh, we got an iron ring. Let's go, dude. All right. What did we get? Ooh, extra damage. Okay, now let's go ahead and try out this. We've got extra attack speed. Okay, nice. And then all those bonuses with spell damage, which we have what, like 16 or 16 off of the tree, right? 16 off of the flat, and then we've got an additional what, 15 and 8, and it's physical damage. Okay, yeah, just a lot more damage with this. I might scale a little bit better. I still need to use ethereal knives though. The reason why we still need to use ethereal knives is because in order to summon my little animate weapons, that's what we need to go ahead and do. I'm actually gonna swap this. Yeah. Sometimes I wanna make sure. I actually have never played animate weapon, but I mean, it's how hard can it be just to activate it, you know? Oh, now since we've leveled up zombies, we can have 4 zombies. Yeah. Next level will be a pretty nice little threshold for damage. We're coming up to our first.
Brought you here, sister, to the one place where your talents are free to grow and be.
Extra 15 Kanai's Cube? I mean, you know how crazy it would be for Diablo if you just absorbed a Kanai's Cube and you just got that ability? That would be really cool. Yes, it would be very game breaking, I understand that, but I'm down, man. I just want more theory crafting, to be honest. Oh, got a portal off that one. Nice. We already have these gloves. Look at this. I'll take these. The reason why is because I can change the color if I want to. Maybe get some benefit off of it. Since we got Spark, new skill, we'll go ahead and show it off just so we can show off some of the skills in this game. Since this is like a beginner's guide that we're showing off the mechanic, going through like a full playthrough up until the very end. But just don't copy my build. You could probably get away with it, but it probably won't be efficient. I'll be honest, because like I said, I'm building a hybrid right now, which is usually a bad idea. So here's Spark. We get like a few little projectiles. Reminds me of like a charged bull if you've played Diablo. So go ahead and throw those ethereal knives. Go ahead and summon some more weapons here, so we can have some distractions. Unfortunately, they don't have very much HP though. It's kind of like the butcher. He's got that hook that pulls you right in. Go ahead and cast the animate weapon. And since, oh wait, do we have any corpses? No. I guess there's skeletons that are being summoned here. I'm just gonna see what kind of feels the best. Because sometimes, even though a skill can be good, if it doesn't feel good, like I have to activate this skill to activate this skill to activate this skill, and like I have to curse them first. I usually only like casting at most 2 like different skills, with the exception of like if I'm summoning something and it lasts forever. The problem that I have with ethereal knives is that in combination with the animate weapon is when I summon things in games, I don't know if you guys also feel the same, but like I just like to summon it once. I don't like it when I have to summon it over and over again.
Had you been my creation, brute, you'd not have fallen so easily.
What do we have with this? It doesn't really give us anything. But we do need the enemy weapon. Oh, this one had a better link, whatever. It's fine. We've committed. This one has, whoops, this one had 3 and they were connected. See, that's what I'm really looking for in the very beginning, is just like, what's actually connected? And potentially any, reduce stun threshold. Okay, anything that could give us extra movement speed, which would be on boots for the most part. You've never made a Legacy of Dreams or Legacy of Nightmare? They're very fun. It's kind of a more freedom build, but they take a lot longer to acquire all the gear. So a lot of people don't really like them because they just take too long to finish off. So we'll go ahead and go back right into town, and then we're almost coming up to the end of Act 1 here very soon.
Farewell.
All right, whoops, I clicked on something. All right, so we get added lightning damage, minion damage support, Unbound Ailments, Combustion, or Infernal Legion over here. So what I want to go ahead and probably do is I can get minion damage. I mean, I would rather have the added lightning damage, honestly. Do I have any 2 blues connected? Okay, since I don't have any 2 blues connected, I actually want to show off this mechanic if I can. So this one should have a high chance to have 2 blues connected. So you can get these items called chromatic orbs, and they reforge the colors of the sockets in an item. But I'm also going to check out in town to see if there's any items that I can purchase that either already have it, or will add, what is this granting me? The only thing I really want off this is the spell damage. If I can get anything that has, because I get extra attack speed, this one's spell and fire damage. Here we go. Here's one that adds double to spell damage, but it does cost 2 orbs of transmutation. And if I want that, it's just too much. I can't afford it at the moment. I mean, this one is just a 2. It's just 1. 7. There's no way I'm going to be able to get 7 portal scrolls in the very beginning. I'm going to reduce my damage but get more attack speed, so to me it's worth it. I could reforge the colors, but if I wanted to change the colors, it's random though, you don't get to pick. Later down the line you'll get a crafting bench and you can change the colors specifically, but they'll cost like more than just 1. But it's definitely worth it, because unless you have some really good luck, let's put it that way. So what I wanted to do was get that added lightning damage, and with our kinetic bolt, so we'll have bonus lightning damage now. And later, let's see, we might be able to get both actually. Oh, it costs orbs of transmutation. Let's see what other support we have over here. So if you just type in the word support, and it'll tell you which things you can kind of utilize it with. Increase crit strikes, less from multiple projectiles. This is another thing that I would really want to, but I'm gonna have to get 2 blues and 1 green in order for that to work well. And then we also want to get melee splash and minion damage for our animate weapons. So far though, I'm not really a fan of animate weapon, simply because, again, I have to cast it over and over, and that's one thing that, some people don't like to go ahead and do, to cast things over and over, and that's
Stay sharp
my reasoning of probably not enjoying it. Skeletons can be okay. We got lightning warp over here. I did kind of want to level up lightning warp anyways. This one will reserve mana, but we're going to regenerate mana per second. I like that one. I also like lightning warp. It's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and... what does it cost? 9? Let's go and just pick this up for now, so I can show you guys. There's different auras and things that you can cast that reserve mana. I kind of want to show off that mechanic right now. Increased duration and minion life. You won't have to cast it as often. If I have to cast it once every 20 minutes, I'm okay. But if it's like every 5 minutes, I'd be okay with it too. But when it's every 30 or 40 seconds, the thing is it's not just casting it once, it's casting it for every summon, and obviously you want to have more than one, right? Okay. Oh, so we also have a loot filter that makes like mean sounds, and if you want a video on that, I'll if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll pin it down below. But if you're watching us on Twitch, if you type in ! filter, it'll give you the same filter that I use, which this is actually going to be kind of nice if we can RNG to get the correct colors on it. You can automate it with Spell Slinger. Oh, that's good to hear. Like I said,
Too much clutter.
we need that. I'm gonna get rid of this. I probably should have sold a bunch of the trash. I just want something that has movement speed. That's fine. So I want the colors anyways for that. But yeah, if I cast one thing, I actually don't know fully how Spell Slinger works. I also don't even know what level we can get it at. But let's go ahead and just animate more weapons over here. We can do what, 5? And we need to summon our zombies again. I want more minion life so our zombies don't get destroyed instantly. But we can also go on the skill tree and get that. Oh, we didn't even show off the hold on, I need to show off this. Okay, we'll get rid of Spark because we were done with it. So we'll go get Clarity. So you'll see that my maximum mana is reduced, but I get mana regeneration in return. There are skills that will scale off of how much mana you have too. So sometimes it can be worse to have it. But in the very beginning of the game, it's just nice to have some type of mana regen. In fact, do we still have the amulet? Because this gives us what, int? It's 3%. I don't know. I'd rather have the extra mana regen. I just want as much mana regen as possible so I can just not even worry about popping my flasks. I can sit here and just cast things all day. That's what I like to have. We can also basically get cooldown for certain skills, which is going to be nice for my Lightning Warp. Lightning Warp is kind of what I want to do. Lightning Warp Spell Slinger, it just looks super fast. Basically, you just teleport around and just everything just gets wrecked. Yeah, I want to get a... I don't know if we should get lesser multiple projectiles, because our damage is just terrible. How's Ethereal Knife doing? Yeah, damage is not so good right now, but we're going to get a nice little threshold boost right here. Hopefully that will change it up. But we can also go and buy items. There's an item that's super cheap that I will buy once we get to the next section where I get to go back into town. And it's a very cheap item, so you'll be able to buy it too. And I'll show you guys how to buy items. Now, one thing that I didn't know about since last time we did a playthrough, someone mentioned it because they play on console. On console, buying things is a little bit different because you don't have the ability just to go to a website. But I'll show you guys how to buy stuff. It's very, very easy. But it's just something that you'll have to like learn how to do. Yeah, I think we're pretty much good on mana right now, which is great because now I can go ahead and run a bunch of potions that increase movement speed, which is usually what I like to do. Have I done vendor crafting for 30% movement speed? I have not. I didn't know that there was a vendor recipe for that. But I now know. So you want to tell me that secret recipe? Yeah, like I said, I don't like casting... I mean, for bosses, yeah, I don't really mind because then that way I have less things on me. But we can get that big node now, which is going to 25% increased damage while wielding a wand, which that's easy to do. We're already wielding a wand. And then increases in reductions to spell damage applied to attacks with a wand, which will scale with our kinetic bolt really well. So let's see how much damage we're doing now. It's still really weak. Like, I feel like I could have went Frostblaze and just demolished the game. But we can get increased minion duration, and if I get it up to, like I said, 5 minutes, which I don't know if I can. Maybe 2 minutes is kind of like the number we're looking at. Just go talk to characters right now. Unfortunately, we got kind of a bad one over here. I'm gonna go super far to the right. Like, where are the enemies, man? There's the next waypoint, but I'm going to finish this Delirium before I go back into town and buy an item that will give us a lot more damage. It's a really low level unique. I actually really like that unique. It's super easy to 6-link too. Well, when I say super easy, I mean if you just get really lucky. Okay, well there's our first rip over there, and we're gonna go ahead and go back to town because I'm not gonna get that far, and then I want to get that. Does the loot not drop? Okay, there it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back, and we're gonna go ahead and use the website poe.trade, and I will also provide that with all of the other like links that I'll be giving you guys. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, this is the website, and we're going to go ahead and make sure Delirium is selected. It should be by default. It's called the 1,000 Ribbons, and it's a really easy to get item. The reason why I like it is it adds damage to attacks. The rest of the stats, I don't even care. It only costs 1 orb of chance, which we should have, or if you have an elk, you can use that as well. I'm just going to go ahead and pick this up right now. Because we have 3 orbs of chance. Actually, no, I don't want to trade an elk for it. Yeah, I'll just trade this because it's so cheap right now. So what you'll do is you'll click where it says Whisper. You just click on it, and it'll basically create a copy and paste it. You hit enter in the game, and then you just hit paste, and then basically you'll go ahead and whisper the person. He'll invite you, and you just go ahead and join their game. Let me go and get rid of some of this like trash here, because I'm not going to like require any of these.
God hasn't
so hopefully he'll respond within the next minute or 2. If he does not, then we'll go ahead and whisper someone else. We'll whisper the other guy that's also selling it for the same price. I usually give them like 20 seconds because sometimes they're in the middle doing something. You can alternatively just whisper like 20 people at once because people don't respond back. It's unfortunate, but it's part of the game. Also, while we're waiting for this other guy to respond, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the microtransaction tab over here to go and throw on some skins. It does not affect the gameplay in any way. It's just cosmetic only. So I'm going to go ahead and equip some cosmetics over here just so my character can look cool. Where's the footprints here? I like the... where's this? Some of these you can get for free too if you have Twitch Prime. Like you can see the footsteps over here. This is the Metamorph one. Ice footprints. I thought we had a Celestial one. Is it somewhere else? This is a pet. We can add a little pet bird. You can actually get 2 different pets. Or you can go ahead and equip it. You can only have 1 per character, but if you click claim, it'll just use it on it. Unfortunately, both those guys didn't respond. Unlucky. I could have sworn we had like whatever. It's fine. It might have been because of a certain unique I had. But anyways, both of them didn't respond. Don't worry, that happens. I'm going to go ahead and look for the person that's selling it for an alk. If I can get... okay, we have an elk. For me, it's worth trading an elk for it because it's just such a huge advantage in the very beginning. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Let's go and whisper this guy. Which one's 3 blue? Okay, we're going to go ahead and whisper this guy. And then I'll also mention some of the... By the way, that if you whisper some people that are like Korean or Russian, they tend to respond a little bit better. Okay, I like PoE Trade. Yeah, you can use the official website. I love the way PoE Trade looks. That's the reason why I've used it. And I like it so much more. So, you'll see over here that there's a little swirl next to his name. He'll usually just go to his hideout. But if he doesn't, you can travel the... Well, you won't have a hideout unlocked. Because this is if you are new to the game. But usually he'll go to his hideout. You can go to your hideout. This is where you can make use of like the crafting bench, but I probably can't really make anything good right now. But you'll acquire a lot of things later down the line. Oh, so he's in his hideout. Just click on the little swirl next to his name. You'll go to his hideout, and if since I'm the one that came to him for the trade, I wait for him to right-click on me and then hit me up via trade. Oh, my bad. I know you guys can't see it, but literally, you right-click on them, and there'll be an option for trade over here, and you just go ahead and do that. And then usually after I'm done, I usually whisper them and say thank you, but sometimes people don't do it. It's really not that big of a deal if you don't say thank you. But this item, you should be able to get it as well. It's really cheap. It's a really, really good item because it adds damage to attacks and spells. And so right now, let's go ahead and go back into where we were. Oh, yeah. Okay, so... People, okay, I'll list both of the websites since I know there's a lot of people that don't like PoE Trade and I always get memed on, but I love the way it looks so much more than the official Path of Exile like website. It's just so much more clean. There's no denying that. No one will argue that PoE Trade doesn't look the nicest in terms of like things, but yeah, people don't whisper back. Sometimes it's because yeah, the items don't get updated as frequently. But most of the time, I get away with it every league. I just like the way it looks. But anyways, more importantly, so our damage right here on offense. Let's see, where is it? This does 105 DPS. I throw this on, and we now have 138. A nice little increase, right? By that chaos, no, okay. You shouldn't spend 1 chaos on that. This thing is a very cheap item. I get it every single league because I like it in the very beginning. There's also a few different things that you can get for movement speed. Oh, you were saying about the... do you try to get a certain color on sockets for 1,000 ribbons? I mean, ideally, if you can get 2 blue links... I mean, ideally, I want 2 blue and 1 green, but that's asking for too much in the very beginning. No one's gonna really have that. You can search for it. Like, for example, I'll show you guys that mechanic. That's a good question here. Good question. So, like, the reason why I love this website is because of the searching feature. So I want 3 links, and I want 2 blue, 1 green, and I hit search. And I could probably find it. Watch, I'm gonna find it. And it's 1 chaos. I should have searched. I honestly didn't expect anyone to have it. I mean, yeah, I should have done it. I regret it, but that's a mistake. Whatever. Is it that big of a deal? Yeah, it actually is a pretty big deal. But it's not that bad because I can just buy that one, right? And then, like, if someone in the chat wants my old one, you can have it. Or I guess if you're watching this on YouTube and you want it. No, honestly, someone else is probably going to snag it up. I'm just going to give it to someone in my guild. I'm going to say, if you want it, you can have it. But by the time this eventually gets uploaded to YouTube, I'm probably so far beyond to this point anyways. I mean, honestly, I'd be so much further along the line if I wasn't stopping every few seconds to talk about something. But, you know, that's the point of doing, like, a playthrough, right? We can go down here, and we can go get the all flame, which is on the corpse of someone. But we also have to remember that we also want to go ahead and get the lesser multiple projectile gem, so we can have 3 of these things come out instead of 1. What happened to my clarity? Oh, it's probably because something got moved. Okay, I have to reactivate it. Yeah, we want as much mana regen as possible. But it is feeling a lot better, for sure. But Ethereal Knife just hits everything, like, instantly, too. There's, like, no delay. I love that part of it. Did it just say quickly? That's pretty cool. Because, yeah, you do want to be fast. Oh, we got to go now. Oh, so I see like the 2 stacks over here. Oh no, we gotta keep on going this way. Stay inside the storm. Or the fog.
Sounds good. Does it work?
We got a silver coin. Those are used to get prophecies, which we'll also talk about later down the line. There's just so much content with Path of Exile in terms of like what to explain. Can we make these with the... Oh, that's a no good. So, some chests, when you open them up, they'll like freeze you. They'll do something. You can identify them, but I never do. It's I don't know, even in the hardcore people don't do it. Like, I wouldn't worry about it too much, to be honest. What are these 2 skills? Frostblink we need, and Raise Zombie we kind of need. I guess I can swap one of those. The thing that's really important right now that I'm looking for is... Oops. What the heck is this? I just want movement speed. That's what I want. Neo 2. Oh, that also came out recently, right? Right now, I'm just interested in Path of Exile. As far as Neo goes, I'll think about it. Doom's coming out very soon, but like my priority right now is PoE and trying to get to the endgame to see how cool the endgame content is. You want to see me play Neo 2? But it looks more like Soulsborne versus Devil May Cry. And like, I like Devil May Cry's like style combat a lot more than Dark Souls combat. So this says increased spell damage. Let's see if we can get increased spell damage and plus like cold damage added to spells. That's actually really nice. We can swap it out with this one. Perfect. We got lucky on that one. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and go to the Slave Girl. Oh, if it didn't rubber band, we'd be able to click on it. And then we're gonna bring the All Flame to our boy Fairgraves, which is the little pirate guy. I love Ninja Gaiden and Devil May Cry. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden was a really cool game. That game's hard though. So hard. As a kid, I remember the first time I got Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox, I couldn't beat the very first like boss. I think he has like nunchucks, right? Dude, it was so hard as a kid. But like these days, like I feel like games are too easy. Like I grew up on games like Mega Man, like specifically like Mega Man X. Like those games are not easy compared to like what's out these days. These days with all the checkpoints and restarts, like it's just so easy. As a kid, was like 16? 16 when I was playing what? Like Mega Man? No, I played Mega Man a long ago. You need some trains? Some trains? What? I'm not sure if I understand what you meant by that, mate. Is that a meme that I'm aware of? Look at Ethereal Knives versus this. Like it just hits at all of them, but this is actually hitting for a little bit more though.
And that's how you die properly, sailor boy.
That's
no half measures, thank you.
Okay, so you can teleport or a lot of times leap or use your abilities. I really like Frostblink so much more than Flame Dash. Flame Dash is kind of like the same, but this does damage too? Nice. I mean, technically all the mobilities pretty much do damage in this game, which is quite nice. But it actually does a lot more damage because everything gets out. Look, it does, what the, look at this, my blink. It hits almost as much as my basic attack. Like, or not my basic attack, but kinetic bolt, I should say. Actually, we got increased attack speed to 1. Let's see how fast it is. It's still relatively slow. Alright, so where do we gotta go? I think we go over here. Oh wait, no, that's where the cave is. I think it's actually down below. They actually rotated the game a little bit with the last league, I think, to make the game feel like it's different. It actually does feel like it's different, to be honest, because you're so used to... Some of the areas in Path of Exile are specific tile sets, meaning that like they're the same every single time. Other times there are like completely different ones. But it's not like Wolsome where there's like, I don't know, like a set amount of tile sets and it only draws from those, if that makes sense. Like they actually are random, if that makes sense. Ninja Gaiden gameplay playthrough, what? Like what, Ninja Gaiden, the first one? For the original Xbox? I'll probably have to emulate that one. I don't actually own a regular Xbox. Unless you're talking about, maybe I can use it with the 360. Like, I actually don't mind playing on emulators. A lot of people are like, you want the original one. But sometimes with the emulators, like, some of like the lighting doesn't work. Specifically with some of the Dreamcast emulators. Or, in fact, some of the GameCube emulators too. Like, the shading doesn't look right. Oh, that was a close one. We almost ripped, and that's because I leveled up, so we got extra stats. Dude, look at it! It does so much damage. This is insane. Like I said, Metamorph was probably the hardest league, like in terms of actually being able to clear out content with the league mechanic early on. I pretty much skipped out. Most people skipped out on it. Like you'd be doing like perfectly fine, and then out of nowhere, whoopsie. There's a black puddle on the ground, which is basically something you can't even see. And it was just game over real fast. What did we get? A coral? We probably could swap the coral ring for... Oh, that's maximum mana, though. Let's see what else it adds. Damage to attacks. Alright, you got me there, man. Added damage to attacks, extra elemental res, and lightning res. To capture them without spending a lot of money. Oh, I have the tools. I have all the tools for capturing. No problem. No problem on that. Yeah, I spent like I got multiple capture cards, and I actually have an HDMI splitter to bypass. And like sometimes if you cheap out and you buy the cheaper ones from like Wish.com, you run into the situations where the quality doesn't look too good. Hello, Pancake, how you doing? Did I see your smuggles? No, what's a smuggle? Is that a Pokemon? Are you playing, or what is it called? Tim Tam? Temtem? Temtem, that's the game. Oh, your emote. Oh, okay. I see it. It's looking good. It's looking quality. Do you do your own emotes? Alright, let's go ahead and put those other skill points in. So what else were we getting? Ravenous Horde, or... Alright, let's kill this thing first before I destroy myself. I want more attack speed. Let's get more attack and cast speed. Where's that at? Damage. Okay, staff. Oh wait, we were gonna go path up here. Yeah. There's. Oh, hold on. Let me eliminate all of these because these make a nice screeching sound, which everyone loves to hear. Okay. Anyways, so now what we plan to do is, let's see, gain a power or frenzy charge when you block. Ooh, spell damage while dual wielding, increase block. Attack and attack speed. Why is this coming up? Okay. You get cast and attack speed and chance to block. Increase spell damage while dual wielding. I might dual wield. Like I said, I'm gonna go Necromancer, but I really need some minion stats. Otherwise, they're dying so fast. Should we get Ravenous Horde? 10% chance to gain Onslaught. Onslaught's really good. It's increased movement speed and attack speed. I believe it's 20%. There's no attack speed nodes. Channeling, okay, I'm definitely not gonna. I hate channeling skills in any game. I have to go all the way down here. There's no wands, staves, or staves. There's minions. There's really not that much for let me see what else got added to wands, because there are some new changes to wands. Oh, is there more wand stuff over here? Crit strike with wands. Attack speed. I mean, I do want to do Spell Slinger. Well, I guess we can path over there, too. But, like I said, the first thing we really need to get, honestly, is this, because that's going to be a new gameplay mechanic. We'll see if there's anything else. There's, I guess, cast speed. Yeah, let's just go. We'll get some life here, and then we'll path over here. Like I said, I don't know about the pathing as far as if it's perfect. Actually, I'll tell you for sure it's not going to be perfect, because we're just kind of testing some stuff out. Let me see the whole list. The whole list of the skill tree. I mean, this is almost all of it. They added another 180 skills to the game, passive skills, but they're kind of cryptic. And what I mean by that is you don't know what, well, they did kind of show off what some of them will do, but you get these jewels that will basically give you another few skill trees. So yes. Oh, coming up to another we really need to scale our damage a lot more. Need to add some more flat damage, but we're going towards that jewel first, because I don't even know when we can get those jewel things. So, I mean, we could be investing into something that we won't get for a really long time, but it's what I want to do. I want to test out the new content. And that's why, again, the description box of the video, if you watch this on YouTube, will indeed have the links to a more realistic build that should work. Oh, we got Steelskin. This is pretty cool. I can show you guys this via which button am I going to use? Never mind. I can't take out Frostblink. I don't want to take off my zombies. I guess I can use control. Oh, okay, here we go. So we can activate Sealskin. It makes it so we will take 75% damage is taken from a separate source, if that makes sense. Go ahead and summon some stuff. Don't stand in when she throws down that ice storm is what I'm gonna call it, because it's kind of like a firestorm, but instead it's ice. I'm gonna go ahead and get some of my ethereal knives out. My damage is still not bad at all, though. This is totally viable. Oh, shouldn't have stood in it. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna test it out. They also buffed all the bosses from Metamorph. So the content is a lot harder now if you've played Path of Exile maybe in the past. But it's good though. I think it was an overall good decision. And Path of Exile is not a super casual game anyways. I would say it's more along the lines of an elitist game. because it does not hold your hand. It's more like those older games, which I like. What I mean by older games is like where they didn't hold your hand. You had to like learn things by asking friends, looking at, you know, that Game Informer cheat codes. You used to go to GameFAQs and look up cheat codes for GTA and write them on a piece of paper. Oh, her second form, you thought it was over. Oh, we're taking some damage. But don't worry if you die to this boss, it's not the easiest thing. I'm gonna go ahead and summon all my minions again. All my little ethereal knives. I really need more heals here. It just melted all my minions! How much harder did they make it? Because I don't remember it being this hard last time we played. Or maybe this build's ZDPS, man. It's just not doing damage. Oh. Where's my portal? Oh, okay. That's fine. We ripped Ronin. So I'm going to go ahead and do some summons here. I was looking for my portal scrolls. I usually have it over here and my identify scrolls right here just for fast access. But it happens. Yeah, don't worry if you die. We'll probably rip several times on the playthrough. This is not like we're playing hardcore or anything like that. It just like destroyed all my minions instantly. Oh. Oh, we almost got it. We almost got it. Oh, we got it.
Poor fishwife. 'Twas love that did this to you.
Do I have no room for this? I don't really care about Spark, but I want some speed. No speed. Okay. Right, and now we're gonna go ahead and get to the next act.
Nice
This time it took a lot longer to get through the first act. We also died twice, but it didn't really put us far back that much. Alright. Yeah, I don't even remember last time really scaling minions like defensively, and they're having a tough time surviving. That's for sure. But that's okay. Right, and now we are super laggy, but we are finally in Act 2. So for our YouTube playthrough, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it this part for our part 1. I mean, it might be perfect just to do it like each act here. But anyways, that's gonna be the first part of our newer player / introduction to Path of Exile playthrough, and the next one will be up very soon. But hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, drop a like on it. And if you are new here and you want to see part 2 of the new Delirium League, our entire playthrough with kind of a scuffed class, to be honest, but I'll try to optimize it and we'll make this one a little bit better. But like I said, definitely if you want a more viable build, check the links posted, because we're still kind of testing out and we're gonna hybrid this one out. But I'll catch you in the next vid. Peace.